God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Woo! WrestleMania! All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it is WrestleMania weekend. We are finally here. I am having some serious Wi-Fi and video delays. I sincerely apologize about this ahead of time. This is going to be severely annoying for both you and me this entire show, but we're going to fight through it. I'm excited. I know everybody here is excited. The question that's been going around lately is just how excited has Al been for WrestleMania? How excited is he? And ladies and gentlemen, here is a picture, proof. I'm ready to roll. Nugenix Total T, ladies and gentlemen, with that man boosting formula. It does the job. And ladies, can't stress this enough. She'll like it too. Ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania special. It is powered by the Eastern Observer. Tyler, we can taste the power, buddy.
Power.
So good. You can taste the power. Presented by MinutesToBellTime.com. Ryan Joy cannot be with us today. He is on assignment at Raymond James Stadium today. Him and Travis are there. The salesman of fun, right? Him and Travis are there. Don't say Travis isn't a WWE guy or an AEW guy. He's going to Mania, you know. Call him out on that one on Tuesday when he's back on the Daily Wrestling News Show. And, of course, the show is always sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. But yes, we are with us. Our band of merry men. Below me on the screen is John DeConnie, the living legend, the first ever PWP champion. Currently in first place. We will get to that in a second. John, how are you feeling going into this weekend?
There's a lot of coin tosses on this card. I'm excited, but as far as my point totals go, a little shaky.
All right, John Smith. Alf decided to stay with you for WrestleMania. He didn't want to make the trip out to the island, as we all know. Alf, and when I'm not home, I have 4 cats. Alf cannot be trusted around the cats. So Ted is at home watching the cats. Alf is going to be with John, sporting the correct United States Championship belt from way back in the WCW days. John, how are you today?
Doing great, man. Yeah, I made Alf the interim United States champion. That is the real belt. That's what it should look like. Although the new belt is better than the most recent one before it.
And back with us, it is a pay-per-view special. We will always have our sheriff with us. I believe there was a hashtag last episode from our good friend James Wheeler. Hashtag we want Tyler. And James, here you go, buddy. Tyler Adelle back on screen. How's everything going, Ty?
Everything's good, you know. Amped for WrestleMania, amped for this big week we've had already so far. Can't wait to get into it.
Okay, so we are going to just do a quick roundtable as we do with all these specials. What goes with us, what goes in our heart. We're not going to take too long with this one. I've been spouting off my top 30 WrestleMania list. Number 1 will be at the end of this segment, but John DeConnie, we'll start with you first as you submitted the pictures first. I say WrestleMania, you're going with an inductee. I like the way where your head was with this one.
Yep, you only get inducted into the Hall of Fame once, so this was my excuse to spout off about a guy who was my guy, Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View, and his 4 WrestleMania win streak, starting off with X8 in 2002, where RVD defeated William Regal for the Intercontinental title, and roll it forward 2 years to WrestleMania 20 at MSG, where he and Booker defeated the Dudleys, Cade and Jindrak, and La Resistance. 2006, 22, the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, Mr. Money in the Bank. And after a world title run and a little bit of trouble, 2007, WrestleMania 23, Ford Field, as part of the ECW Originals, beating the New Breed. A hell of a run for Mr. Pay-Per-View.
It really was. And you said he cashed in that Money in the Bank in the most extreme circumstances. That was a very memorable moment. And one of my favorite WrestleMania moments. And the match itself was whatever. It was fun. But with RVD, Sabu, Dreamer, and Sandman walking through the aisles of WrestleMania, through the crowd to the old ECW music, that was I just got goosebumps right there. That was just a proud moment for them. I'm sure Heyman was right there with me with the excitement picture I just put up. I mean, they made it. They got there. So congratulations to the whole effing show. 2021 Hall of Fame induction. John Smith, I believe you actually have a slideshow set up for this, and I'll just let you take it.
So yeah, when I think WrestleMania, I think WrestleMania 18. And this is me at WrestleMania Access with the bronze mold of Stacy Keibler's bottom half. I just figured I'd throw that one in there for all you trolls. This is a view from my seats. I was using a disposable camera here, so we got no zoom. I'm right on the aisle. I'm about 40 rows back, but I'm on the aisle, so I'm able to see everyone. There's a nice picture of Hulk right there coming down to the aisle. And then my man Triple H before he won the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. And this right here, I got blown up to 16 by 20, and I still have it hanging on my wall to this day.
There you go. It's a great moment because you can say you were there. So I thought, John DeConnie, you've been to WrestleMania? Have you attended one?
I have not been to a Mania. I've been to a Rumble.
Okay. I was at WrestleMania 29. I saw Triple H beat Brock Lesnar. That was pretty awesome. We're gonna go with our Sheriff Tyler. Were you at a WrestleMania at any point in time?
You're muted, buddy.
I'm gonna have to get used to that. I have never been to a WrestleMania, no.
Okay, but we're going to go with your moment real quick. I know you have your guy, and unfortunately, you kind of chapped my ass with this one, Ty. I don't like your pick here, but you can go.
I don't. You know, my pain is your pain is my pleasure. Obviously, you know, I'm gonna take my guy John Cena here, WrestleMania 22. I know it's kind of an oddball pick. I'm also significantly younger. So I don't have many manias to pick from. But this one is probably one of the first manias I watched live next to WrestleMania 21, maybe. You know, John Cena obviously was red hot on fire at the time. I can't think of any children my age that didn't like him. So, you know, John Cena winning at WrestleMania back then was a huge deal for me, and it kind of just stuck with me all these years.
Yeah, like I said, that's the one match. Okay, well, first things first, right? All Hunter does is bury people, right? This is the one match I want back. This is the match that just kills me, that Hunter loss. You know, a loss is a loss. That's fine. You lose the Undertaker 3 times. I get it. You lost to Benoit 20. I get it, whatever. This was the one I want back, though. So, Tyler, there you go. You picked the biggest ass chapter of mine. But I'm going to go full 180 right now and bring up, finally, the number one, my favorite match in WrestleMania history. Let's review real quick. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to put up there. This one is the one. Here's the review. That's not the review. I just gave it away. So it is the Fatal 4-Way from WrestleMania 2000. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. There was a McMahon in every corner. Hunter walked in with the champion. He made history by being the first heel to walk in as champion, defend the title, and walk out as champion. As you can see, Big Show, he was inserted as well because he was the actual true winner of the Royal Rumble, not Rocky. Rocky was the technical winner, but his feet hit first. And then as one last hurrah, Linda McMahon won and Mick Foley in it. And we had our Fatal 4-Way at a WrestleMania. These were the big four guys. There was no Austin. There was no Undertaker. They were both injured. So Hunter had to carry the load. So here is now the final, my top 5. Here is the final list. The Intercontinental Championship match from WrestleMania 8 between Piper and Brett. The 2-fall, 2-title triple threat match where Kurt Angle just got screwed. That came in at number 4. Brett and Owen, a win for the younger brothers across the world by Owen Hart at number 3. Christian shocking the world, beating Chris Jericho and walking away with the girl at the end, and then Triple H making history. Unfortunately, I am not in my own studio today, but there's usually a plaque somewhere in this top corner of Triple H, the mat plaque with the signed Triple H mat plaque. So the answer was in front of you guys right along. I kind of wasn't too hard of a Marvel Easter egg on that one. This graphic I wanted to bring up, John DeConnie, for you with Rob Van Dam. I apologize. He is the only active wrestler. He has the longest win streak in Mania history right now. He's got 4 consecutive wins. Everybody else has been beaten. So if Rob Van Dam wants to return to action, he's got the best chance right now to catch The Undertaker.
So you're saying if Omos throws out his back, tying his boots tonight, and RVD joins AJ Styles in that title shot, he can move all the way up to second with 5 straight?
See, now you got the gerbil. You just got him excited right there. I know delusions of grandeur. We got to measure our expectations here. But that would be absolutely incredible. I got a comment there. It looks like Ryan Joy. Ryan Joy is chiming in from Mania. What do we got here? It's bigger than the Super Bowl. It's bigger than the World Series. Screw the Winter Olympics. It's WrestleMania. I believe Jesse Ventura at the beginning of WrestleMania 6, I believe he completed that quote, "It's bigger than the Rolling Stones." So I don't want to take any shots at the Olympic athletes here. But, yeah, Ryan, enjoy the show. Hopefully we'll have some pictures and check in. Actually, he sent me a picture earlier. Travis got a picture with Jay White. Like, oh, my God, like that's complete bucket list for Travis right there. He's probably in that hot dog picture too right there. So that's him. So let's just get right into it. I'm sorry. That's it. WrestleMania. We're excited. It's time. Here are our standings going into WrestleMania. John DeConnie has caught me via Takeover and Prelude. And Ryan Joy has snuck in. Ryan tore it up at Takeover. He went, I believe it was 8-2 at Takeover, then 2-1 at Prelude, so he's in the mix. John and Tyler, they flexed their muscles at Prelude. They went 3 for 3. They got the perfect pay-per-view bonus for those shows, so they are not saying that they're dead in the water just yet. In our WWE specific standings, John DeConnie has a 3-point lead on Ryan, and who has a, that's pretty much the top of the pack right there. John Smith and Tyler and myself and Gary, we are still chasing, but as you will see in this next graphic right here, there's points galore at WrestleMania. The 2 world title matches would be worth 50 points. All other titles are worth 25, and the non-title matches will be 10. If any of the matches, they didn't announce any kickoff shows, but if any of these matches get dropped down to the kickoff show, they will still count. So we will be paying attention to the kickoff shows. Total points possible, 275. And if you go 14 for 14, you will get a 15-point bonus. Let's just take it back, go a little stroll through history here. John DeConnie's records over the past 5 WrestleManias, since we've been keeping track of this. He's 40-28. He went 12-4 last year and 10-6 the year before, 9-3 at WrestleMania 33. So John DeConnie, he is the force to be reckoned here with right now. John Smith, a modest 500. He just seems I don't know, mediocre at best. John Smith, I don't know what to do here with you. But 500, 34-34, 8-8 last year. So he's a guy that you can possibly listen to. Tyler, we haven't known for that much longer, but Ty went 12-4 last year. He's above 500. So again, and Tyler's at the top, one of the top 3s in 3rd place in the standings in the WWE record books. And then there's me. I don't do so well at WrestleMania. I take some unnecessary chances that don't pay off. And I get the obvious picks wrong as well. So there's me and my beautiful bride walking the aisle, both as champion at WrestleMania 2000. Like I said, my favorite match of all time. I didn't do too bad last year, 8-8. We found that out at the WrestleMania 36 special that Ryan and I did. But man, WrestleMania 34, I got The Undertaker right, and I think I got Nia Jax right. And the rest of that card, I couldn't have been more off on. We are going to start the SmackDown Women's Championship, a title that has been defended, has had 4 matches at WrestleMania, 2 title defenses. The last successful title defense was last year when Bayley won a fatal 5-way to retain the championship. Our current champion going into this match this year, Sasha Banks, currently still in her first reign as SmackDown Women's Champion, which she beat Bayley at Hell in a Cell. Sasha's looking to get off the schneid here, guys. She's 0-4, and she just can't get off the schneid here. She's laying the squad douche at WrestleMania, and she's not going to have an easy task going on right now because she's getting the Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair, who is making her WrestleMania debut this year. She actually debuted on the main roster last year at WrestleMania when she jumped Zelina Vega to help the Street Profits out post-match after the Street Profits defended the Raw Tag Team Championship. Like I said, Bianca Belair is the Royal Rumble winner. She chose Sasha Banks. The Women's Royal Rumble winners are 2-1. They've won their last 2 opportunities. Charlotte Flair last year defeating Rhea Ripley. And then Becky 2 belts the year before. She did not win 1 title. She decided to win 2. So here we go. We have Sasha Banks. We have Bianca Belair. Both are undefeated in the year 2021 in singles competition. As a team, I believe they're over as well, but we'll disregard that because they're not getting along. So John DeConnie, as the points leader right now, as the first ever PWB champion, as the winningest WrestleMania competitor amongst us, who do you got for the SmackDown Women's Championship?
Okay, you're going to hear me say this a lot. Somebody on this card has to retain. I do not feel confident making this pick because of the rocket ship that's been strapped to Miss Belair, but I'm going to go with Sasha, finally getting rid of that big O at the left-hand column of her WrestleMania stat sheet, and Sasha retains. Perhaps finally we see Bayley again. She gets back involved here. She's pissed that Bianca tossed her out of the Royal Rumble. I don't know. That's my hope because everything else is pointing to me being wrong.
Tyler, who do you got on this one, pal?
So I'm going to take Bianca Belair. It's just that rocket ship strapped to her that's on there tight. I see it going. It could set up a lot for her in the future. It could set up, with this whole Becky Lynch thing now yesterday, that she's coming out with that tweet that really, along the spine said night 1. I mean, I know Jason commented on it. I'll touch on it quick. Becky Lynch could be her first real challenge as a champion after WrestleMania. Just saying.
So you're thinking maybe Becky's going to go after Bianca and I guess just wait for Ronda to come back and wait for Ronda to jump her.
I think so.
Ronda's not going to be too far behind Becky when Becky comes back.
No, I don't think so either.
That's not over at all, and I can't.
Personally, I think if Becky Lynch doesn't show up tonight, like her tweet may have suggested yesterday, I think she's almost a lock to come back next week. But that's just me.
Okay, we're not going to wait long. Maybe Monday, like I say, within the next 2-3 days, right? Either today, tomorrow, or Monday.
Friday, if she's going to gun at Belair, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. She goes SmackDown. John Smith, who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sasha on this one. I like the idea of her wiping away that 0 in the win column the same way she did it with her title defenses finally. She was 4-time champ and she never had a title defense. So I like her to win this, and that doesn't mean Bianca's done. I mean, if Sasha wins with a chair shot behind the ref's back and a roll-up, then Bianca could still win that title next month. It's it doesn't mean that it's over for her if she loses this match. I just can't see them putting the title, giving her the WrestleMania win after they gave her the Royal Rumble win.
Yeah, that kind of usually goes hand in hand right now. So yeah, I'm going to be making my fair share of outlandish picks going forward. I think I'm gonna play it safe with this one and say Bianca Belair. By no means am I be shocked That Sasha Banks win. I think Sasha Banks' best bet to win was Reggie. And he's not with there anymore. So I think if Reggie's gone, Sasha, she's going to have to sit on that squad douche for another year, hopefully. I mean, I had Sasha last year. I had her a couple of years, I think, to win. So this year, I'm just gonna play it safe, go with Bianca, go with the way the story normally is told instead of getting thrown a curveball. So I got Bianca Belair. Next match we're gonna talk about, I believe this is a night 2 match. It is for MVP's United States Championship belt, which has a current record of 2-5 with 2 title defenses at WrestleMania. Andrade was hurt last year; he did not defend the title. At WrestleMania 35, the last time the title was successfully defended, Samoa Joe squashed and injured Rey Mysterio, so that one was a little rough. The only other title defense in WrestleMania history for the United States Championship was when Chris Benoit beat MVP back at WrestleMania 23. So this title it doesn't get on that much. That's 7 times. It only doesn't get defended even less. So here is our current champion, Matt Riddle. Just Riddle. Currently in his first reign as champion, won the title from Bobby Lashley in a triple threat match at the Elimination Chamber. He did not beat Bobby Lashley. He beat John Morrison. Lashley just lost the belt. He's got his WrestleMania debut too as well, and he is going up against a challenger who has Survivor Series. He affectionately named Fireface, Sheamus, who was seeking his 3rd United States Championship. Sheamus, he doesn't have too much luck at WrestleMania either. 2-6 overall, 1-2 in singles action. He's lost his last 3 matches as a part of the tag team with Cesaro. 1-3 in championship matches, 1-2 with the challenger. His 1 championship win is when he smoked Daniel Bryan after Daniel Bryan got the kiss of death from AJ Lee. I believe that was WrestleMania 28 or 7 or so. I always get those mixed up in there. So here we go. We have, for the United States Championship, we got Riddle and we got Sheamus. Riddle's been on fire lately, 10-3. Sheamus keeps on screwing with Drew McIntyre, and it's not paying off in the win-loss column. So this is not Drew McIntyre, though, Tyler. So who do you got in this one?
I'm going to take Sheamus. Really no rhyme or reason behind the pick. It's just one of my 2 outlandish picks.
Okay, so this is an outlandish pick. Sheamus is outlandish, John Smith. How do you feel about that?
I mean, Riddle's definitely the favorite to win, but I've got Sheamus in this one also. I feel like he's earned it after all the stuff that he's done the past few months with the Drew McIntyre situation, and he really didn't get much out of it aside from a bunch of bruises. So, this might be his consolation prize for not getting in that world title reign again.
John DeConnie, Sheamus and Riddle, they fought in a non-title match, Raw 2 weeks ago. It says March 29th. Was that 2 weeks ago? Sheamus got the win there. So are we doing a 50-50 buyback here? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't my main driving force for making this pick, but I originally had Sheamus. I figured this was a thank you for all the hard work and all the lumps he's gotten recently. But once again, I then started to go down my list and went, wait, someone has to retain. Let me go with the title that really had no backstory to it other than Sheamus is pissed off because Riddle's an idiot backstage. I have Riddle retaining.
That's the only story Riddle needs, though. Jason Weston chiming in. Apparently, he's correct. If you want to watch Chris Benoit defend the United States Championship, I'm not sure we'll be able to get it on the Peacock Network. Not sure if that's one of those things that was thrown away from history. But we will acknowledge it. It was wrestling, so it was public view. I'm going with Sheamus as well. Everything John Smith said about exactly. He was fighting Drew McIntyre and everything with Drew McIntyre, and he was coming up short, but he was putting on great matches. Like those matches, hard hitting. You saw the shots of the kendo sticks from both of their backs on social media after that one Raw where they almost killed each other. And then the thing from that match on Raw, Sheamus didn't need the bro kick. He won with a high knee to the face. I guess equivalent to how a V-trigger, right? It was a Kenny Omega style knee lift by Sheamus. And that was what dropped Riddle. So I know this is Mania, and people kick out of finishers, but he's going to kick out of the knee, but I don't think he's going to kick out of the bro kick. So I'm going with new champion on this one. So I guess for those scoring at home, Bianca Belair and Sheamus for a few of us here, that's 2 new champions. We're not even out of the gates yet. So how many title matches are there? Was there 7? Is there 7 titles? 9 titles, right? The SmackDown titles aren't on, so 8.
8.
Yeah, in a match of Brains versus Braun, Shane O'Mac, I guess the brains of the equation. Shane winning record at Mania. I think that might shock a few people, but he shows up and he gets the job done. He's 4-2, 3-2 in singles competition. I believe his only 2 losses were to AJ Styles and The Undertaker. Last time we saw Shane at WrestleMania, he defeated Miz in I believe it was a last man standing match. I don't remember. I don't know. I haven't watched that match since it's happened. Again, Miz got screwed, but he's going to be going against Braun Strowman, undefeated 2-0. Last year, he defeated Goldberg in, I believe Ryan said 2 minutes and a couple seconds after that. His other win, he took a 10-year-old out of the crowd and won the tag team titles. So that's Braun's 2-0 right there. We haven't seen a Cage in a while. WrestleMania 32. Shane, like I said, he fought the Undertaker, so at Hell in a Cell. 28, there was a Hell in a Cell with the Undertaker, and at 15. But we haven't seen an actual steel cage match since the big Blue Beauty, the old school cage at WrestleMania 2 between Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy. So cage matches don't really happen all that often at WrestleMania. And then so here we go. John Smith, we haven't started with you yet. Who do you got? Brains versus Braun.
I liken this angle very much to the angle of Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss a couple of years ago. Back then it was body positivity. Now it's stupidity being called dumb. So I think it's the same anti-bullying campaign kind of thing, and Braun Strowman comes out with the win. You saw the promo he cut 2 weeks ago or last week. This is for everybody who's been called dumb, this and that. You know, this is not a loss for everybody who's called dumb. This is a win.
All right. Tyler, they were supposed to fight at Fastlane, Ty. Shane got injured. Miraculously recovered. I mean, he's got Wolverine-like. I mean, if I can, nerd out for a second, Wolverine-like healing abilities here. And I guess the whole thing was he allowed Braun Strowman to pick the stipulation in this match, and that's where Braun came up with the cage. This was Braun's idea to keep Shane locked in.
Yeah, I mean, so originally I had picked Braun Strowman for this match, just kind of with the fair assumption that Braun Strowman was going to annihilate him. But I kind of got this gut feeling last night when I was making my notes that, there's going to probably be that WrestleMania moment type wow factor thing where Braun Strowman is just going to muscle Shane McMahon into the cage wall. Cage wall is going to collapse. Shane's going to roll down the cage, hit the floor, and he's going to get a cheap victory.
Replay the same Valentine's Day massacre that we recently talked about after Big Show jumped ship.
I kind of think that's how it's going to go.
Okay. John DeConnie. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I'll just throw it to you. I had something to set you up, and I forgot what it was.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with what I have been complaining about since this angle started to develop. That if this match is not a vehicle to get somebody else, somebody new, somebody young, somebody other than Shane McMahon on this card, whether it be Dabba-Kato, anybody, if someone doesn't come and help Shane McMahon, and this literally turns out to just be Braun versus Shane, that is sickening for a 50-year-old Shane McMahon who's taking a spot on this card. So I'm going to go with, for a chance, for change, I'll be optimistic that they'll do the right thing. This is a way to get somebody else on the card. They help out Shane. Shane beats Braun. Give me Shane McMahon here.
He does have that's what I was going to set you up with. He does have Elias and Jackson Riker in his back pocket. So, but you don't want them, right? You want Dabba-Kato.
I want someone I'm not, someone I don't expect. Someone who, hasn't been following Shane around like lapdogs for the last couple of weeks.
I got Shane McMahon as well. I feel like this is outlandish. I think Braun is scheduled with John Smith. I think you're exactly correct. This is, as I said, correct, right? You're exactly correct. Correct. This is completely mirroring Nia and Alexa, but that was a body shaming bullying. This one is brains and stupidity, and Shane's gonna outsmart him. I think that's the whole thing. That Shane's gonna completely outsmart him, and he's gonna he gave Braun. I think Shane had to have known that Braun was gonna take a cage. I think he's playing right into Shane's hands. And John DeConnie, if you're right and somebody else chimes in, it's going to be something. It's going to be something. And I got Shane McMahon to outsmart Braun Strowman. It's game day. I guess if you want to put that. I believe this is a night one match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Now, this is the Tag Team Championship that had the lineage that goes back to when Stephanie McMahon created the WWE Tag Team Championships for SmackDown back in 2003. This is the same lineage. So there's been defended a few times. 5-2 champions usually do pretty well, including last year. As I mentioned before, the Street Profits defeated Angel Garza and a substitution in for Andrade was Austin Theory. So here comes the New Day. Here are our Raw Tag Team Champions. It's their 11th total reign, but only their 4th as Raw Tag Team Champions. They beat the Hurt Business a couple of weeks ago. They've only fought together once at WrestleMania. That was at WrestleMania 32, where them, along with Big E, they lost to the League of Nations. How about that for a faction? Remember them, John DeConnie? Kofi's 2-7 at WrestleMania, but he's got a huge WWE Championship win against Daniel Bryan. Xavier Woods is on the schneid right now. He's 0-2. I believe his other WrestleMania match was the original Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Here are their challengers. They're not playing games, apparently. Well, AJ kind of is. Almost is not. Almost, excuse me. This is their team debut. Styles 3-2 at WrestleMania, but he's usually put in very high-profile matches, which includes Chris Jericho, Shane McMahon, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the list goes on. And The Undertaker last year. Omos is going to be making his in-ring debut. So here is the match. Like I said, Styles and Omos have not teamed yet. New Day's 4-0 in the year 2021. But as I mentioned, John DeConnie, the New Day have been winning a lot of these little games they've been playing. We found out a little bit ago that Omos is not screwing around.
Exactly, and I think this is resume fodder. I think this is Omos is going to make his debut. I think in glorious fashion, but more importantly, it's about making another Grand Slam champion in AJ Styles, and I think we get new champs here.
John Smith, I'm wrong about this. It just sticks out in my head because it's one of my favorite moments. Omos is making his in-ring debut. The most recent one that I can remember, and I could be completely wrong about this, was, if I'm saying his name correctly, Fandango at WrestleMania 29. Is he muted?
You're on mute, John. Smith is on mute.
All right, Tyler, we'll throw it to you.
No. I got it. I'm here. No, what I was saying was Ronda Rousey made her debut a couple of years ago on WrestleMania. But yeah, Fandango was the one that we went to at 29.
Correct.
But, I think this is probably the easiest match to call on the card. I got AJ and Omos winning it. Not easily. I think they'll put on a decent match. I don't think Omos will get any real offense against him. Like he's just going to be pushing people aside. He's just going to be a giant out there. So I'm excited to see what his finisher is more than anything.
Tyler, maybe like a double hit. Didn't he have him up, I think, on Monday, or the double or the choke, and he kind of just threw him? It wasn't even a follow through like slammer. He kind of just like threw him.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is probably the easiest match to pick. I'll take AJ Styles and Omos also. Look, Omos is a very, 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 very large human being, and we all know that Vince McMahon loves his very, 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 very large humans. So this could definitely also be the beginning of a very big push for him going forward in the future.
Jason Weston is a very smart man. Remind me to do that next time somebody's muted. What?
No royalties.
I'm with everybody else as well. This is, like I said, I had like 2 locks here on the show. This is one of them. Styles beat up. Styles getting beat up. They're going to corner. Styles is going to get his ass kicked in this match. And when he finally makes that tag, it is going – I wouldn't say a hot tag because he's not going to be flying around. We don't know that, actually. I shouldn't say that. Maybe he freaking does, a Spanish fly or something out of nowhere. Who the hell knows what Omos can do? But I think once Omos gets that tag in, it's donezo, and we have new tag team champions. So I guess that I'm kind of counting along with myself here. I can't remember what you guys have done. I'm 0-3 for champions right now. I got 3 new champions going forward.
I think the New Day is the perfect people for Omos to get over on too, because they'll sell for him and they'll put him over huge.
Yeah. Any predictions on how the New Day, their attire will be, and will Big E match them? That's a good question. I think they should match. All 3 of them.
I think they're going to go with the Scorpion and Sub-Zero thing that they've been going with. Maybe a little bit more done up. Maybe they're going to be wearing like the masks and everything too.
And then Big E will come out as Goro and put 2 other arms on Big E, and he can be Goro.
I like it.
Yeah, that movie's going to be incredible. I'm excited for Mortal Kombat. I believe it's actually at the end of the week this week.
A rated R Mortal Kombat. It doesn't get better than that.
We actually have a match. Here goes WWE ripping off New Japan. A match that's too big for one night. I guess this whole concept is didn't Wrestle Kingdom do 2 nights? They started this a couple of years ago, right? But what they did this year at Wrestle Kingdom, if you win match A, you go to night 2 and fight in match B. So we actually have Tag Team Turmoil. This will be the first ever Tag Team Turmoil match in WrestleMania history. For those who just don't know what Tag Team Turmoil is, it's a gauntlet match. 2 teams start. Decision is rendered. 1 team goes home. Another team comes out. 4 teams are in it. As of now, this match has hashtag scrapped freaking written all over it. We have Naomi and Lana. They're making their team debut. Lana's making her WrestleMania debut. Naomi's been WrestleMania tested to a bit. She was in the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match last year, and she won the SmackDown Championship, Women's Championship, at WrestleMania 33 in her hometown in Orlando. So she knows what it's like to get gold at Mania. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, they are both making their WrestleMania debuts. Ladies, welcome to the show. Along with these 2, the Riot Squad making their WrestleMania debuts. They're also seeking their first reign as tag team champions. And then we have 2 tested veterans, in Natalya and Tamina. And this whole tag division, the challenger aspect of it has been about these 2. They've been taking it upon themselves to attack Shayna and Nia. I believe Nia and Tamina, who tagged together at WrestleMania 35 for the Tag Team Championship. They went at it last night on SmackDown. So, but they each have squadouches. Natalya 0-4, Tamina 0-3. So here is Tag Team Turmoil going into night 1. Potential curtain jerker. I don't think it would be smart to start off WrestleMania with this match, but maybe we'll get into that towards the end of the show. But Tyler, I know you're a ladies' man here, so we'll give you the first crack.
Yeah, totally. I had no rhyme or reason behind my pick. This was that other. I'm just taking a total going on the fly here. I took Naomi and Lana. I guess, the main reason being I know nobody else took them, and maybe it'll help me gain a little bit of ground. Also, if there was ever a time for a weird, does not make sense tag team to do something, this is probably it.
And also, John Smith, Lana is the best.
Lana number 1. Absolutely. Took the words right out of my mouth. I think Lana's paid her dues for the past 6 months, 8 months, and she's getting rewarded for it with at least winning this match. Spoiler alert, I also have them winning the titles the next day.
So Lana, being the sole survivor in a Survivor Series match, and then actually putting that's you want more for Lana? She's earned more, John Licani. Okay.
She did. Wait,
as much as I love her, I don't have her.
I'm sorry. She did not earn that Survivor Series sole survivor thing. She wasn't even involved in the match, so she didn't. So that made her look worse, not better. Okay, so don't go ahead and give her accolades 6 months later when nobody remembers how it happened.
Hey, come November when we do our Survivor Series special, and I get to put the graphic up that Lana was the sole survivor of last year's match. Just throw that up there.
She stood on those steps like she was told. She earned it, damn it.
Yeah,
but getting back to tag team turmoil, like you said, I think it has scrap written all over it because I think we're going to get Carmella and Billy in here too. But the way this has been booked, the tag division has been booked leading up to this, Natty and Tamina, and I think for me it's because it's almost a disgrace that Natty doesn't have a WrestleMania win. So I've got Natty and Tamina taking this one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they are the favorites. They should be the favorites going in. And to Tyler, to your point that you made earlier, I was doing the picks for my private pool, which has about 30 people in it. It's got to be 40 to 45% of them have Naomi and Lana in that. So it's actually a lot more people are picking those two than Natty and Tamina. Then there's this guy who there's one person on this card from New Jersey. I am not going to let Liv down. I got the Riot Squad. Go get him, Liv. So congratulations. You're doing Jersey proud. The only representative. You made it to WrestleMania. She won the pre-show last year, which was huge. That was absolutely great for her, but it did not count pre-show. But I'm going with the Riot Squad. And as we discussed, the winners on night 2, they will challenge for the Women's Tag Team Championships, which right now has never been defended. I've only been 2 title matches in history. It started at WrestleMania 35. Sasha Banks and Bayley couldn't get it done. The Iconics took it from them, and I believe that was number 28 of my top 30 all-time favorite WrestleMania matches. The Iconics shocking the world. And then last year, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they just would not stay down. They defeated the Kabuki Warriors. Here are our current reigning and defending tag team champions. It is their second reign. They won the titles from Asuka and Charlotte Flair on the Royal Rumble kickoff show. Nia's 1 and 2 at WrestleMania. She actually, as we mentioned earlier, she defeated Alexa Bliss to win the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 33. Shayna Baszler 0-1. She couldn't get past Becky Lynch, the unstoppable, if you think about it, Becky Lynch during that run last year. So here we go. We have mystery opponents, question marks. Tyler, your favorite question marks. Will it be CM Punk? It might be CM Punk.
I would love nothing more for it to be CM Punk, but I think everybody here, Gary and Ryan included, should know I will never, ever, 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 ever pick Nia Jax to win a match. So if Naomi and Lana are winning the turmoil, they're winning the titles too.
Yeah, I have been I've been losing points betting on these two dropping the titles. I don't know, last 4 defenses. So I would kick myself if I didn't pick them to lose here, and they actually did. So once again, I will go with Natty and Tamina, new champs.
All right, John Smith.
Yeah, I got question marks winning. As long as it's not Dana Brooke, because she's the most god-awful thing in all of pro wrestling besides Cody Rhodes.
Ouch.
Wow.
Watching her is painful. Just her thinking that money in the bank full of money in the corporate headquarters was the real Money in the Bank briefcase just sums her up as a person. She's just terrible. Sorry.
Ouch.
Did you make a pick in that, Ryan? I forgot. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, no, I got question marks winning, but then
gotcha.
with the caveat, as long as it's not Dana Brooke,
Yeah, gotcha.
I will force you to change my pick if Dana Brooke is involved in that match.
I actually got an email. I actually have a guy actually picking Billy Kay and Carmella to be there. This match is going to get scrapped, and then he's taking question marks for Billy Kay and and Carmella, or and like I said, Charlotte, Bayley, they're not in the mix in any of this, but they might pop out. I'm going Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They've just been dominant. I would like to see if it's Natty and Tamina, I would, or even the Riot Squad. I like to see both of them. I just don't think. I think the women's tag team championships will finally be defended. That 0 sticks out. I don't know why, but that 0 sticks out more to me than Natty's and Tamina's does. Tamina's actually makes sense. Natty's doesn't. Natty should have had a win at some point, but maybe she'll get it today and then get another L tomorrow. And a title match that actually has a pretty historic lineage at WrestleMania. It is the Intercontinental Championship, which was at WrestleMania 1. This is I guess this is one of the OGs, right? If you want to call it that. The champions are 8-6 at WrestleMania with 13 title defenses. So do the math here. So that's five matches have ended in either a count out or a disqualification by the champion. So the challenger wins, but the champion retains. Unfortunately, the champion has lost 7 of the last 8 title matches. And that one match that was successfully defended was last year by Sami Zayn when he defeated Daniel Bryan. Big E is our current Intercontinental Champion. He's on the squad too. A lot of guys just can't buy a bucket at WrestleMania. But he's only had one singles match, and I believe that was an Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania 30. I know at WrestleMania 29, him and Ziggler, the one that we were at, John Smith, him and Ziggler, they challenged for the tag titles and lost. 0-2 in championship matches. This is his first match as champion. The last time you saw Big E was at WrestleMania 34 when him and Kofi lost to the Bludgeon Brothers. Rest in peace, Brody. Here's his challenger. Apollo's making his WrestleMania debut as well. Going into this, it's just a singles match up until Monday night, which is now in a Nigerian drum match. So I really didn't catch a lot of SmackDown last night. I watched the tag title match. I watched the Andre the Giant Battle Royal before we went on air. God, I was close on that one. But did they even discuss, John DeConnie, what a Nigerian drum match is?
From what I take from what Apollo said, I don't know that it necessarily. I don't think it means no holds barred or anything like that. There's just going to be a drum beating during the match, and that's going to somehow, I don't know, get Apollo's ancestors involved.
I thought maybe like the winner was going to get like a tulip and that gives them superpowers. I don't know. John Smith?
I figured it was like Jamaican steel drums, like Come to Jamaica commercials.
Oh. That'd be fun. Then steel drum. Yeah, Jamaica's fun. Who do you got on this one, John Smith?
So they spray everywhere when you hit them.
John Smith, who do you got on this one?
I got Apollo winning. I had him winning last time they fought, and he didn't win it. Especially because it's got the Nigerian theme, and he's Nigerian now. All of a sudden, I got Apollo winning.
I think he was always Nigerian, John DeConnie. I think he's just now all of a sudden he's royalty.
Exactly. He realized that he's related to royalty. So I won't make a Coming to America joke again like I did a couple weeks back. But yeah, it's in Tampa, Big E's hometown. He's getting played to the ring. Well, not played to the ring. He's getting talked to the ring by Wale or whoever does his theme song. Nice. So I was kind of on the IC champ, but Apollo's had a bunch of shots at this, and I think this current gimmick, I think they're too invested in it for him to just goof again. So I think because he set the rules here, give me Apollo Crews.
So you're gonna tell Big E, Wale about your damn luck. Tyler.
I got Big E. I don't see them taking the title off him this fast. I think he's also one of those Thunderdome / Performance Center MVPs that kind of deserves to have his little WrestleMania moment. They kind of in the rest of the.
That's what it is. There you go. You ask questions, we don't know the answers. Our smart fans does. Where's James Wheeler today? Did somebody have James Wheeler on speed dial? Jason, love you, buddy. Thank you for chiming in and watching today, pal. Jason's always good to watch our WrestleMania specials and chime in.
Oh yeah. But I'm going to take Big E here. I just think it's a little too early to take the title off of him. Unless they're going to move him on to bigger stuff. Who knows?
Yeah. I had Big E up until the gimmick changed. It's like, because you think he's just, Cruz can't get it done. Like, he can't be, I believe it was 4 matches. Now, it is tough to beat a team 5 times in the same season. So I'm like, you just can't do it. So, but then they made the change. Like, okay, now there's a jump. There's going to be some kind of no disqualification or whatever. I don't know what the stipulation. I just feel like this is meant for Apollo Crews to get it. Now, with this Apollo Crews win on SmackDown, when Big E comes down and demands a rematch, I want Apollo Crews to look him directly in the eye, go back to catering. And that would put a nice little bow on this feud. In a match that is not advertised, or even it's just, who knows? I was going to throw it out here. I'm going to throw up the graphic first. There is a title that is not advertised that could be defended at some way, shape, or form. The 24/7 title. This will be the second WrestleMania appearance. Last year it changed hands twice. R-Truth lost to Mojo Rawley, then Mojo lost to Gronk. So the champ is out 0-2. I guess that 0 is going to be forever. I don't understand how you get a win here. Here's our current 24/7 champion, who's currently in his 51st reign as 24/7. That's exactly the reason why I wanted to do this graphic. Just so you can see 51 under his name. He won the title from Joseph Average during a oh my God, the commercial, the Sex Panther commercial at Fastlane. Old Spice, thank you. Night Panther. Actually, I have that. It actually smells really good. No, I think I sent you guys a picture. I had I found it in Walmart. I bought the bottle of the Night Panther. It smells good. Truth is looking to make history here, and not the history that I want him to make. You look at all those zeros up there, blah, blah, blah. Tito's record's in trouble here, so if Truth gets pinned one more time, if he loses that 24/7 title, he will tie Roxbury, New Jersey's own Tito Santana as the longest consecutive loss streak in WrestleMania history, a record that has stood, if my math, from WrestleMania 8, that was his last, I don't know, so with 37 minus 8, with 29 years, oh, it's going to break my heart. Shelton Benjamin's also active. He's not on the card today. Dolph Ziggler's not on the card today. The Miz is. Miz could jump up to 6. We'll get to the Miz in a second, but then you got on the bottom, too, Big E, Natalya, and Sasha Banks. They're looking to get off the schneid as well. They have active losing streaks going here. So I'm rooting for nothing to happen on this one. I want Tito's record to stand at least for one more year. Tyler, anything off the top of your head that you can think of for the 24/7 championship that you want to say?
Honestly, I can't think of anything. I mean, it's kind of the first WrestleMania where, like, there's not a ton. You don't know if there's going to be a ton of quote unquote part-timers or legends hanging around. I mean, Shane McMahon is the only quote unquote part-timer even on the card. So it's kind of hard to tell if there's going to be people there, or if it's going to be really wrestling based and not a ton of those backstage segments with, like, Ron Simmons showing up out of nowhere,
Damn.
Would
Ron Simmons win the 24/7? There it is.
I would hope so. I mean, that would be awesome. But I off the top of my head, I'm sure they're going to find a way to incorporate it, especially because fans love R-Truth. There's no way they're not going to find his way to a camera eventually. But off the top of my head, no, I don't know.
Yeah, John Smith, he hasn't been on TV the past couple of weeks. Like, this whole WrestleMania build-up thing, we haven't seen him since the Sex Panther, Night Panther.
Yeah, he doesn't need any build-up. He's R-Truth. He can just pop up out of nowhere and people will love it. So he's definitely going to tie Tito Santana, I think, but he's also going to wipe that 0 off the win column too, because he'll win it back the same night or the next night maybe.
That's what's up, John DeConnie.
Yeah, I'm just the person I'm about to mention usually only is involved with NXT, but because it is WrestleMania, they may have extra people on the pre-shows and whatnot. As long as he does not lose to primetime Sam Roberts, I can't have that happen in my life. He already lost to who was it? One of the last pre-shows.
Rosenberg.
Guy.
All bets were off once he lost it to Rosenberg. Is that little weasel POS? I can't stand him. Don't get me started on Rosenberg.
Now James Wheeler. He showed up a little late.
I'm hoping that
he threw out a stat that we already talked about. Yeah, we hit that, James. We got you, buddy. All right, James Wheeler. He's ready to roll today. John LeConte, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Nah, no worries. Yeah, my word on this is that I hope that R-Truth spends 2 days just running, and no one catches him, and no one rolls him up, and Tito's streak continues.
The only thing I would love is if somebody's chasing just whatever, he just pins somebody just for fun, and he defends the title at WrestleMania. You know, so you can say he did that. You know, he wants to defend. So if that would give him more than that would. In the perfect world, yeah, or if he wins, it said the pre-show, have him lose it on the pre-show, have him win it back on the main show. That's ideal right there. So there you go. Moving forward, SmackDown hashtag potential show stealer. I'm gonna do this, that little hashtag twice, because we have 2 sets of best friends that will be going one-on-one, and these just usually make for the best matches. First, we got Sami. We got Sami Zayn. He's 1-2 at WrestleMania. The one win was his match last year. We defeated Daniel Bryan to retain the Intercontinental Championship. His opponent, Kevin Owens, he's coming off a win as well. This is KO Mania 5, and it's funny, the Mega Powers exploded at 5. I mean, these 2 guys are going to explode at KO Mania 5, so that's a fun little. Maybe that's on John LeConte. You think that's on purpose? That's on purpose.
Absolutely.
So last time we saw these 2 at WrestleMania together, they were tag team partners at WrestleMania 34. They lost to Shane McMahon and a returning Daniel Bryan, and the stipulation of that match was that they would be fired from SmackDown forever. And here they are fighting on WrestleMania representing SmackDown. John Smith.
I got Sami Zayn winning this one. I think it's one of these things where they're best friends in real life. And Kevin Owens has had the way more successful career than Sami Zayn, so Kevin Owens is going to give him this one.
John LeConte, I went to look up. I like to go back and kind of research, especially something like this, like their past matches that they've had, so I can kind of tell everybody. I found an article on the that internet thing, the Google machine. Top 12 Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn matches of all time, including the 2 at Takeover, including the 2 in WWE. I believe one was at Battleground and one was at Payback or something. And then they fought a ton in Ring of Honor and even before that as Kevin Steen and El Generico world. I don't know how to say his name.
Generico.
Generico.
The thing is, if I remember correctly, just go with the takeovers. I know one was a no contest, but the 2 matches in WWE and the other title match at Takeover, they were all Kevin Owens wins, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe you are correct there. And I've got this one adding to that list. I flip-flopped on this one a little bit. I think that because they got this YouTube guy involved, I got a bad feeling he's going to play into the outcome here. So my original thought was Sami, because last time we saw them in the ring before last night, Kevin was beating up Sami, and then on his way out of the ring, he kind of shoved this Logan dude. And I said, all right, that's going to get Kevin, kicked in the nuts or punched in the face, and he's going to wind up losing. And then we go to SmackDown last night, and Sami shows up at this guy's gym where he's sparring with his brother and makes an ass out of himself and, makes an annoyance out of himself. That kind of tells me that maybe he's just going to be fed up. The Logan Paul is going to be fed up with Sami by the time we get to this match, and Sami's going to be begging him for help or something like that, and Sami's going to get punched and probably turn around and walk right into a stunner, and Kevin Owens will keep that streak alive between the 2 best friends.
Now, Tyler, if all that happens, that's not gonna make for a happy ending to Sammy's documentary.
No, as we touched on a little bit, Sami Zayn needs this win a lot more than Kevin Owens does. So Sami Zayn to me was kind of the easy pick, and it'll wrap up his documentary nice.
I have to say, I got Sammy as well. Like I said, the whole Logan Paul thing, unfortunately, I feel like I missed on SmackDown last night because I was working. I was too busy making hot dog pictures. I'm going with Sammy. I think, like I said, Sammy he's getting the bleep end of the stick lately, and it's all for the documentary, and that's what the character is, and I get that. KO can take a lot. Maybe Logan helps him. Maybe Logan can help him, just to get him out. Like, okay, Sammy, I helped you. Now leave me alone. I got to go back to my Aunt RuPaul, as Gary would say, and help her out with some stuff. So I got Sammy on this one. All we are saying is give Sammy a chance. So yeah, so the happy ending of the documentary. Maybe the documentary is going to air maybe sometime soon. James Wheeler chimed in. He's going. He's got KO Mania going on this one. Jason Weston doing some research for us. How about this one? Logan Paul was a competitive wrestler in high school and college. Is that his brother or is that him too? I know there's two of them, right?
No, they're both boxing.
Oh, they're both boxing.
They're both doing it, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So with that, let me get this. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence? Party man, rocks the party like nobody can. Party man. Oh my God. Did the Miz and Morrison do Jack Nicholson's Joker proud on that one? For those of you who haven't seen the original Batman movie, go watch it. That museum scene was amazing. Miz and Morrison got the job done. They screwed up that whatever this is, like a $3 million Honda. I have no idea what kind of car. It looked like a piece of crap to me. Anyway, so here Miz and Morrison. Weird thing is they've never teamed together at WrestleMania. The greatest tag team of the 21st century have never teamed together. They were at the WrestleMania 25 kickoff show, defending, or I believe they were unifying the tag team championships against the Colognes. I do not remember how that match happened. The Miz is 3-5. Like I said, he came out strong. He was 3-0 at WrestleMania, including a win over John Cena and a win for Team Johnny in that 8-man tag. There goes WrestleMania 27, ripping off WrestleMania 28, ripping off AEW. John Morrison 2-2 at WrestleMania, including a stellar win last year, defending the tag team titles in a triple threat ladder match against Kofi Kingston and Jimmy Uso. And then there's Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. Now, they're both making their WrestleMania debuts. This graphic's not about that. Here are the list of celebrity appearances and what they did at WrestleMania. We have actually some pro athletes like Mr. T, who actually won twice, and Lawrence Taylor, who won the main event of WrestleMania. Both of them professional athletes. I know Mr. T was more for an acting, but Mr. T was an athlete. Aki Bono, Butterbean, and Floyd Mayweather, they're all professionals around the sport. Then you got Maria Menounos and Snooki. Okay, they're celebrity guests. That's fine. They're more in the Bad Bunny range. The common theme with all of them is that they all won. The two celebrity losses that we had were Shaquille O'Neal, and at WrestleMania 2, they had William the Refrigerator Perry and a bunch of other NFL players. The only time those celebrities lost were in Battle Royals. Shaq lost the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania 32. So this is not a Battle Royal, unfortunately. This is a tag team match between the greatest tag team in the 21st century, The Miz and John Morrison, going against Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. I believe I will go first on this one, and it is just blatantly obviously I am not going against The Miz. They tie up Damian Priest, maybe handcuff him so he can't get into the ring. There's ways they can get this done and then just beat the holy hell out of that Jackrabbit wannabe. Tyler, you're already shaking your head.
Yeah, I am. I mean, Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, I mean, you tie in the celebrity thing. I think that's kind of a shoo-in for them to win this. Also, I mean, I don't know how many people, pay attention or have been doing the research, but apparently this Bad Bunny guy, wherever he comes from outside of wrestling, has been putting in some serious work. He's at TV every week. He's in the Performance Center. I mean, I don't know if this is something he's trying to transition over to full time, but as far as I'm concerned, he's in my good graces as a celebrity if he's putting in the work. If he's putting in an honest effort, not just showing up for the check. So I like it.
I've seen those rumors and articles too. I'm not there, Ty. I don't see him training. They just could be blasting me. But yeah, I don't think he wants to be embarrassed. I think he loves wrestling, John Smith, and I think he wants to do well in this. I'll give Bunny credit for that.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, Bad Bunny's winning it. My big question is, well, why? How do you actually believe the words you just said before you asked us for our opinions? No way. There's no way that you actually think that the Miz and John Morrison are winning this match. How could you put points on the line like that? I'm not
ever bet against the Miz. Here's the thing. Damian Priest getting added to the match, that concerns me, okay? One-on-one, I had it as a lock. There was no reason how Bad Bunny should have ever beat the Miz. Former two-time Grand Slam, the only two-time Grand Slam champion in wrestling, professional wrestling history. There's no way some rapper from whatever country he's from is going to beat that way. John DeConnie, but with that, I do have to ask you, Bad Bunny, I guess just walking the aisle here, if he wins this, does he just clinch a spot in the Hall of Fame celebrity win with this?
About 4 or 5 years from now, they'll need some celebrity to put in, and he'll be the only one left.
Yeah.
But, building off of what John Smith said, we're going into this. These are the last points. The last points for the year.
Yep.
You and I are tied. Ryan is right on our backs, 2 points behind. Remember that you gave up these 10 points.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because Bunny and Damian Priest are going to win.
I'm going to win by 10 points. That's the thing. I'm going to win by 10 points. You'd say he's going to be You're going to go back and watch WrestleMania 37. You're like, oh, this is a match where Al wins. Awesome. Moving forward to the Raw Women's Championship, this title was actually born at WrestleMania 32, when the Divas Championship was officially retired and the Women's Championship was introduced in a match with Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch to kick off the women's evolution that we all know and love today. The champion is 2-2. Last year it was defended by Becky Lynch as she defeated Shayna Baszler, a la Bret Hart defeating Steve Austin at the 1996 Survivor Series. Our current champion, Asuka, is in her second reign. She has been champion for the better part since of the past, WrestleMania to WrestleMania year. She had a little bit of a hiccup, but she got it back from Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. But Asuka came out of the gate. She's 0-2 at WrestleMania, including losing her undefeated streak, or her quote-unquote undefeated streak. You got to remember that Eva Marie eliminated her from a Battle Royal at NXT, so that was actually a false streak that they were advertising. But 0-1 singles competition. She got offers. Last year, she teamed up with Kyrie. They lost to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, the tag team championships. And her challenger was at WrestleMania last year, too. Although she just got to the main roster about 5 minutes ago. She competed last year at WrestleMania when Charlotte Flair challenged. She used her Royal Rumble win to challenge Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. And that did not work out well for Rhea. So here we go. We have two women. I guess you could possibly say two women in the history of WrestleMania got Charlotted. So who rebounds, John Smith?
This is a tough one. I think both women's title matches are really tough. I've got Asuka winning this one, not convincingly. Like she normally does. I got her probably with some sort of roll up 10 minutes into the match that shocks Rhea, and then Rhea just destroys her after the fact. And I think maybe even puts her on the shelf. But I don't. Well, I think Asuka's going to win the match before that happens.
Wow. Okay. So the title vacant, and then she just give it back to Becky, like she gives it back to her.
That could work.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, this is one where Rhea just shows up and says, "I want you at WrestleMania." Like, I'm not saying it can't happen because this is exactly the kind of thing that WWE might do, but she just shows up and says, "I want you at WrestleMania," and then walks into WrestleMania and beats Asuka of all people. I'm not buying it. I don't want to see it happen. Give me Asuka retaining.
John Connie, I couldn't absolutely agree more with that. Asuka has been the MVP of the pandemic. She overtook Montez Ford. Ford got her, he took whatever. Asuka has been the MVP of this entire pandemic. Green mist to the face. Done and done. Tyler, who do you got?
I mean, this was kind of a hard match for me to pick because, again, like we were just saying, Asuka was she's been putting Hall of Fame material together through the entire pandemic. She's been the pandemic MVP. But it also sets up that little redemption for Rhea Ripley after losing to Charlotte last year at WrestleMania. So I could see it going either way. So I'm going to take Rhea Ripley. I think it opens a couple of more doors with the title change for future feuds.
Well, that's great. And I'm going to continue my point here. First off, yes, this is a toss-up. Rhea Ripley can 100% win this match, no problem. Like, I'm not trying to put my stamp on this saying this is a lock by any means because it is not. But Asuka needs her redemption first. She lost her streak in front of everybody after winning the Royal Rumble, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Like, the whole thing just went to bleep. And then the following year, she was SmackDown Women's Champion up about 2 weeks before WrestleMania, before she got Charlotte in again. So they could put Charlotte as a SmackDown Women's Champion in the main event of WrestleMania for this whole Becky Two-Belt thing. So she got Charlotte in twice. And then you know what? The tag titles last year, that was a whole different thing. Alexa and Nikki, that was a great rematch. If anybody watches WrestleMania 36 again, they're going to start the show with that match. And that match was absolutely 10 times more incredible than it should have been. That match was great. So, but you know what? Just get this. Can you please give Asuka a win at WrestleMania? She has paid her dues. Going back to the other hashtag, show stealer alert, we have the SmackDown Savior, Seth Rollins, who had a 4-match win streak at WrestleMania, including the heist of the century, where he cashed in Money in the Bank and stole the WWE Championship from the crushes of Brock Lesnar in a match at WrestleMania 31 where he pinned Roman Reigns. Last year, that streak came to an end, though. Kevin Owens got his moment by jumping off the flag. He's going to be going up against his best friend and coffee drinking aficionado. I guess him and Cesaro, these two are big coffee drinkers. They own I know Seth owns a coffee shop in Iowa. I don't know if Cesaro's got a business partner in that, though. Cesaro's 1-3 at WrestleMania. Like I said, 3 matches with the Bar did not go his way. But his one win was the first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. I already said that. So here we go. A match that people have been clamoring for, not for Rollins, but the fact that Cesaro is getting a one-on-one match at WrestleMania against a top-tier WWE superstar. Tyler, is Vince going to give the fans what they want? Or is Vince just going to crap all over all the Cesaro fans?
I think that Vince is going to give the fans what they want. Cesaro's kind of been on his own little I wouldn't say a rocket. Let's say he's been strapped to a couple of bottles of Diet Coke and Mentos. But they've been kind of, it seems as if they're kind of taking him a little bit more seriously now, trying to get him to be one of those main event players. And Cesaro needs this win way more than Seth Rollins does.
Yeah. Now this whole thing started when Seth Rollins came back from his paternity leave, John Smith, and he did the same thing he did after the Survivor Series. Like, come with me, I'll take it to the Promised Land. Everybody just walked away from it, thinking it'd be different, but they just walked away like, all right, same old Seth. Cesaro stayed to be like, dude, he went out of his way to tell Seth Rollins no. That's how this whole started. The whole swing thing has been going as well. But what do you think? Is Vince going to give us what we want here, or is he going to crap on us?
I could definitely see him crapping on us.
Yes.
But it all depends on what he does to make up for it later on in the show with all the other stuff that we want. But I got Cesaro winning because he must win. Like Seth Rollins does not, like Tyler said, does not need this at all. This does not make him look better. This does not make his WrestleMania resume any better. So Cesaro needs to win this, and that's all I have to say about that.
Speaking of Seth Rollins' WrestleMania record, John DeConnie, last year. All right, so you have to settle an argument between me and Mr. Minutes to Bell Time, Ryan Joy. Was that one match last year or two? He did Seth Rollins dirty and gave him 2 losses last year. I'm not that harsh. I believe the match was restarted. What's your opinion on it?
I think it was 2 matches.
It's not.
I don't even remember. What are you talking about?
Seth, I'm not going to do you dirty, pal. You're going to lose. You're going to lose tomorrow, but I'm not going to do you dirty today. John DeConnie,
you got last year?
I agree with that. Last year he fought Kevin Owens and he got this. There was a DQ in the first one, and then he said, fight me again, and then Owens pinned him.
Yep.
Yeah, that was definitely too long.
This year,
too long.
So Al, I did some miniature research for you real quick. Everywhere else except with minutes to bell time, it's being counted as 1 match.
There you go. Wikipedia doesn't lie, John DeConnie.
Wikipedia does not lie. Not sponsored by Wikipedia.
Well, with all that being said, if this whole buildup wasn't all for the purpose of getting Cesaro a singles win at WrestleMania, then I don't know what the hell it was all about. As much as Rollins has been knocking it out of the park with his wardrobe, I still say none of that helps them when they get down to their spandex and Cesaro, Taskmaster, takes him out here.
Seth Rollins' wardrobe has been off the chain. I almost want to pick Seth because he's been wearing all that ridiculous. It's been incredible. No, give me what I want. I want Cesaro. So that's what everybody wants right now. Everyone's going full Batista on Vince McMahon right now to have Cesaro win this match. We have 3 matches left to pick from. The first one's going to make a little bit of history. Not that many times have 2 wrestlers had multiple WrestleMania matches. These 2 will join that illustrious list. First, there's Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, the Viper. 6-10 at WrestleMania. Randy's top 10 in both WrestleMania history in both those categories, as well as singles competition wins. Last year, he lost to Edge, and what shockingly, I did not know this, was the 2nd longest WrestleMania match in history. So if you want to go back and rewatch that one, I would put a pot of coffee on. Then there's The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, 1-3 at WrestleMania. He snapped John Cena into oblivion last year. That was his only WrestleMania win. Both these men on The Undertaker's streak list. Actually, Bray's not on it. He was after the streak, but he's they're both on the Undertaker loss list. They fought at WrestleMania 33 for the WWE Championship. Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble that year. He challenged Bray Wyatt. Or he actually challenged for the championship. Bray Wyatt won the title at the Elimination Chamber. Randy then won the title from Bray at WrestleMania 33. So Randy got the job done at 33. Fast forward to 2020 at, I believe it was TLC, where Randy decided to set The Fiend on fire in their Inferno match. And that is where we are today. Our Fiend is cooked. Well done. And John DeConnie, I think Randy is in trouble.
Yes, I would have to concur. I think that Randy is going to have himself a nice spring and early summer vacation. I think the Fiend will win by some kind of hideous means here, and Randy will go away for an extended period of time. All
right, Gary chiming in. He's overseas right now. Gary, we love you. We miss you. Gary, stay tuned. Your picks are going to be showcased in a little bit, pal. We didn't forget about you. I think you like the graphic that goes along with you as well.
Santo
Tyler, there you go. James loves to see you back, buddy. There you go. Who do you got in this one, Ty?
Yeah, I got to circle back to the Fiend here. Kind of tipping off on that he definitely needs this win a little bit more than Randy Orton does. It's you look at the people that Bray Wyatt has lost to at WrestleMania in the past, and he's losing to Hall of Fame caliber talent, and his only WrestleMania win is coming in a cinematic match in the Firefly Funhouse. I mean, as far as WrestleMania goes, like most people on the card for the next 2 days, pretty underwhelming WrestleMania performances. Randy Orton's going to be around for what he claims another decade. He's got plenty more opportunities to have big WrestleMania wins and matches. I think The Fiend really needs this one right now.
Okay, John Smith, as we found out in Fiend wrestling matches past, now he kicked out of about 5,000 curb stomps, but it took one spear from Goldberg to take him down. So if you go to the Fiend's head, where the RKO move, it centers around the head and the neck, you're not going to beat the Fiend. It's King Hippo syndrome. You got to get the soft underbelly of the Fiend. But I don't know, does Randy know this?
I think whether he knows it or not, he's not going to be able to pull it off. I definitely got the Fiend winning this, and this could be like some sort of surprise squash match, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
like the Cena and Lesnar thing at SummerSlam 5-6 years ago or whatever. Like, there's no way Randy Orton wins. This is like the second easiest match to pick, besides that other one we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, as I mentioned, there was two locks. It was Styles and Omos and Bray Wyatt. I think that exactly. Like Randy might hit an RKO early, just like to start the match, and then the Fiend just gets up, and then he's just going to drop him. I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for Randy to take a break. I feel like Randy's been killing himself. He's been working really hard. He's up there in years. I think he's earned a break here, and I think this is a way for him to just send him home for a while, because he's been here the entire pandemic time. Like Randy didn't go home when the chips were down and things got tough. Randy stayed and fought through it. So thank you, Randy. There you go. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, RKO. But he's gonna go down in a blaze of glory. Hopefully not too big of a blaze of glory. And I got Bray Wyatt winning this. Now we go to our two heavyweight championship main events. First, we'll start with tonight's main event. We have the WWE Championship again, WrestleMania OG. There's only two left. Even though Hulk Hogan did not defend this title, it was in the main event of WrestleMania 1 around his waist when Hulk Hogan and Mr. T defeated Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. The champion doesn't have that much luck here. 13-23 all time. Triple H has 2 of those wins, just throwing that out there. And The Miz has 1 of those wins, just throwing that out there. 13 title defenses. The champion has lost 7 of the last 8 matches. The last time it was successfully defended was when AJ Styles defeated Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania 34 last year. Drew McIntyre got it done. He beat Brock Lesnar. We haven't seen Brock since. Here is our almighty WWE champion, 1-3 at WrestleMania. All things coming. His 1 win came back at WrestleMania 23, where he represented WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump in a hair versus hair match as ECW champion. For those who don't know, Bobby Lashley is the correct answer of who was the first wrestler to walk the aisle at WrestleMania as ECW champion, although he was not defending the title in that match against Umaga. Last year, Bobby was in a different place last year when he lost to Aleister Black. Lana loved it when he spears guys. It got her engines running, but it took a black mass in the face when he went in for it, so he didn't get the job last year. Drew McIntyre did, though. As we mentioned, he beat Brock Lesnar. He is 2-3 all-time at WrestleMania, 1-3 in singles competition, and 1 win in the singles competition was the win against Brock. 1-0 championship matches, 1-0 challenger, all against Brock, and here we go, off and running. John Smith, as our resident Hurt Business enthusiast, does the almighty get it done and join the illustrious list of wrestlers, including The Miz, including Triple H, who have defended the WWE Championship at WrestleMania?
In short, no. I think Drew McIntyre is going to get his WrestleMania moment that he was kind of cheated out of last year in front of the fans. But what a difference a year makes, man, for Bobby Lashley, and what a difference an MVP makes, because we we wouldn't be having this match if it wasn't for MVP, doing everything he's done the past year. So I'm looking forward to a 15, 20-minute classic between these two. I think it's going to be an awesome match. I got Drew winning it, and I don't think it's going to be over in the least between these two. Bobby Lashley could win this title back the next night. Who knows?
The Miz could.
No.
No, he can't.
All right, I'm out. See you later, guys.
John Connie, these two are not strangers. They fought in WWE back in Backlash, where Bobby challenged Drew. It was early in Drew's run. Drew got the win. Actually, I picked Bobby in that match, if I remember correctly. But they also fought twice in TNA for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. I can't remember who won the matches. Maybe you can. They fought on Impact back in June of 2016 before they main evented Slammiversary in 2016. So Impact's an Impact. They had the world title match twice in probably about 3 weeks. Impact's going to Impact. So these guys, they have this storied history. They know each other well. They respect each other probably backstage. This should do the WWE Championship proud.
Absolutely. And like John Smith said, I don't think they're necessarily done regardless of who comes out of this. But also along the lines of what John Smith said, if the whole point of taking the belt off of McIntyre, who has been one of those, MVPs of this whole god-awful era of wrestling where, he was wrestling where you could hear a pin drop in the building and whatnot and carrying the company. If the whole point of taking the belt off of him wasn't to give him his moment in front of fans at WrestleMania, et cetera, then once again, I don't know what the hell they're doing. So give me Drew McIntyre getting that belt back. As much as I have thoroughly enjoyed the Almighty era, I think it gets a hiccup here tonight.
Tyler, yeah, this is a quick title run for Bobby. I think a lot of guys are going to be upset if it comes off him quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly agree with taking the title off of him that fast. Not to really take a dig at you here, but the Miz definitely could have afforded to drop the title to Drew at WrestleMania a little bit more than Bobby could. I mean, Bobby Lashley's just getting started. But at the end of the day, this is really just going to be to get Drew McIntyre his crowd response and crowd reaction that he was really robbed of last year.
I will be rooting for Bobby, but I am going to be smart here. I bet against Drew McIntyre a lot this past. I probably wouldn't be tied right now if I kept the points on McIntyre throughout the season. So I just there's no reason to gamble on this one. It's just you always just go with Drew. That's the easiest. It's almost like a cop out answer. So I will bet on Drew McIntyre. And then the main event of night 2, the main event of tomorrow night, got a little complicated. It will be for this title. The Universal Championship is now making its 5th WrestleMania appearance. It's only been defended once. That was when Brock Lesnar shockingly defeated Roman Reigns in the main event at WrestleMania 34. That was one of the many matches I got wrong on that show. Last year, Goldberg lost the title to Braun Strowman. It was supposed to be Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. So there's a small title history there. It's slowly but surely building up. This man is looking to be defended. Here is the head of the table, our current Universal Champion, who won the title from Bray Wyatt back in, I believe that is August, right? The week after SummerSlam. It was that Payback. Roman's got a pretty decent record, 5-2 at WrestleMania, 3-2 in singles competition. Those 2 losses were, one was, like I said, Brock Lesnar, and the other one was the heist of the century I mentioned earlier as well. 1-2 in championship matches. But Drew, along with Bobby Lashley, I forgot to make this. I forgot to say this when Lashley's guy was up. Lashley and Roman Reigns will join the illustrious list of wrestlers who will walk the aisle for the first time as World Heavyweight Champion. Something that Ric Flair put in a magazine once, and I absolutely loved it. I don't have that graphic in the studio right now, but Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley will both be joining that list. Challenger number 1 will be the 2021 Royal Rumble winner, Edge. He is coming right off of injury. I believe he tore his tricep, I believe it was, if I don't remember correctly. He's seeking his first Universal title. Edge is pretty solid, man. He has 7-4, Started off on a 5-match win streak, although 2 of them, obviously Christian was piggybacking him the whole entire time for the tag team championships. It was a pretty one-sided team with Christian leading the way. 3-3 in championship matches, 2-1 as challenger. Last year, again, the second longest match in WrestleMania history. He defeated Randy Orton. Tyler, trivia question on the spot. What's the longest match in WrestleMania history?
Whichever one went the longest.
Correct. Very good. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, the Iron Man match. Had to go at least 60, right?
Had to go at least 60.
Edge won the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble winner does pretty well. They've won 3 of the last 4 times they challenged. The one Royal Rumble winner who lost in that span, we mentioned it a couple times, Shinsuke Nakamura couldn't get it done against AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34. 16-10 overall with 16 championships won. Last year's winner, Drew McIntyre, went on to defeat Brock Lesnar to win the championship. But then here comes the wrench. Daniel Bryan. Been told no his entire career. Too small, this, that, and the other. No. Even Adam Pearce said no, but then eventually Adam Pearce said yes. So Daniel Bryan snuck his way for the second time into the main event at WrestleMania. Last time, he defeated Batista and Randy Orton to win the undisputed WWE Championship. And here we go. There's Paul Heyman lurking in the background. I love how Bryan put him in that graphic. So here we go. And from a match that we all kind of assumed was a lock that Roman Reigns was going to beat Edge. No worries. Head of the table. Now here comes Daniel Bryan. And bleep has hit the fan. So our sheriff, Tyler Adelle, who had amazing trivia skills, got that trivia question correct.
1 for 1.
What do you got this one?
I have notes. I spent too much time thinking about this one.
Hold on, get comfortable. Hold on. All right,
Let's see. Let's see. So I'm picking Edge. Sorry, that was for future use. I'm picking Edge.
See it again sometime. Good.
But here's the thing. If Edge wins, I don't understand how they have this with a heel versus heel type thing without turning Roman Reigns face, because people will lose their absolute minds if he goes face again.
Okay.
I see if Edge wins, I see Daniel Bryan being pushed out of the picture. Edge winning or Daniel Bryan winning, Roman Reigns does not have to take the pinfall, preserves his character, he's good. Another way where you could have Edge or Daniel Bryan win with man, that would be sick. Could you get Jimmy Uso back in the picture to either help Roman Reigns and join the family again, or get Jimmy Uso involved, screw Roman Reigns over, also preserving the heel character? Where I literally put down so many notes for this. I mean, I was up. This probably took me an hour to write all that down, but I mean, for a long story short, I'm taking Edge. They'll find a way to do it and preserve everybody. But at the end of the day, I don't see Daniel Bryan staying in this after the fact, so I wouldn't be too worried about it.
John Smith, you were a big proprietor, I guess, spokesman, I guess. We had our discussion. You were okay with Daniel Bryan getting into this match the way he did, because he lost twice to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns beat him at the Elimination Chamber and then beat him again at Fastlane. Daniel Bryan has had 2 opportunities here where he has come up short, either by hook or crook. And on a fun little side note, Edge is a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. When he won the 2010, I believe it was, Royal Rumble, he challenged Chris Jericho and lost.
Yeah, well, you sound like a bad lawyer, giving all those reasons for why Daniel Bryan shouldn't be in this match. You're taking all the context. You're taking away all the context, and you're just saying 2 losses. What the hell? Anyway, neither of them are winning, him or Edge, I don't think. I think it was such an easy match to call when it was Roman versus Edge that they threw Daniel Bryan in there to make us think that there's a chance Roman doesn't come out of this. But Roman is walking in and walking out. He probably steals the victory from Edge somehow, like Edge spears Daniel Bryan, and then all of a sudden off the ropes comes Roman Reigns with a spear or a Superman punch out the ring, and then Roman Reigns pins Daniel Bryan off of Edge's spear. Something like that I could see being the ending, but I got Roman Reigns pulling it off.
I'm just stating facts. That's all. What happened?
All right. When Edge cut that very good promo before the Royal Rumble, I have to win this. I have to go back and win the title. I've never lost. Blah blah blah. I said, "No, that's nice, Edge, but you're a legend. You'll have a nice match at WrestleMania, regardless, because you're Edge. They can work you into just about any storyline they want to, with not much build-up necessary." And I figured he'd be around. He'd be in the Final Four, but I never thought he would win. Once he won, I said, "All right. Not winning the Royal Rumble at this age, at this stage, coming back off of, coming back out of nowhere. If he's not going to win the title, are they going to let Roman get pinned? I don't even understand how that works." And along comes the fly in the ointment, monkey in the wrench, the pain in the ass, Daniel Bryan, and there's your guy who eats the pin right there. I have Edge coming out of this. He wins back the title he never lost, even though it's a different shade these days. But I got Edge as your new Universal Champion.
All right, I like the Jimmy Uso theory. Heyman mentioned a couple of weeks ago on the Saturday morning Talking Smack show that, remember, people, there's more than one Uso or something along those lines. So. But I have, this is actually going to be kind of funny. I'm actually going to compare Roman Reigns and Enzo Amore right now. So when Enzo was the Cruiserweight champion, and it just drove people nuts, because he wasn't your stereotypical Cruiserweight. Was he under 205? Yes. But he wasn't a flippy Cruiserweight wrestler. He wasn't even a man. He wasn't even a good wrestler. He just talked. He never shut up. And he won the Cruiserweight. It was such a perfect thing to do, because the heat that he was getting was absolutely he was main eventing Raw as the Cruiserweight champion. Neville didn't do that. Nobody else did that. But you made him lose to Kalisto, and eventually you gave it back to him, and nobody cared anymore. Like if he would have just kept going, it would have been, he could have rode it forever, and it would just been consistently pissing people off. Roman Reigns has that now, so now I'm fearing that they are going to do the same thing. You take the belt off of Roman, and he's not the head of the table anymore, and he's not the dominant force anymore, and now he's unbeatable. I don't care if he doesn't need the pin or not. Like, he has to beat both these guys to be Roman Reigns, and so that's why I'm taking him. I don't care if there's 5 people in this match. Roman Reigns is winning this. There is absolutely zero reason to take the championship belt off him up until he fights Rocky. Like, he needs to keep this until next WrestleMania, until he fights Rocky out in Hollywood. And even then, he should win that. So, it's like he should have this, like, Walter-type, like, 2-year run where he's just untouchable. And he won't lose any steam, because you're still going to – you're going to be feeding guys like Brock Lesnar or The Rock or whoever to him. Or even, screw it, bring back Triple H to get job for. Triple H just shovels you tired. He's in the closet. Just go back here. Just keep building them. Just keep building. There's no reason to stop it right now. And I just feel like it would come to a screeching halt if he has to try to win it back again. So that is my little rant on that. And yes, I've now twice on air have made 2 ridiculous comparisons between Roman Reigns and Enzo Amore, and the other one was The Undertaker and Orange Cassidy. So welcome to my mind. One last thing before we get out of here. John DeConnie, there's a person missing from all this. And I'm not talking about Bayley. I'm not talking about Charlotte Flair. There's somebody noticeably missing who has not been talked about. Do we see The Undertaker in some way, shape, or form either tonight or tomorrow night?
I think there's certainly ways that they could work him in. That's what I've been trying to think. I don't see him being involved in any storyline. Maybe we just get he comes out, says hello. I don't really know. I got a feeling we will see it.
How's everybody doing? Everybody
Yeah,
having a good time? All right, let's go.
I don't see where he fits into any of these storylines unless he comes up and helps Randy beat the Fiend, and I don't see that happening. I just don't know where you put him, but it almost feels like it'd be weird to have WrestleMania without him.
John Smith, any way you can fit him in? Ryan Joy had a good idea. I'll save him for last, but I want you to.
No, I wouldn't want to fit him in either. He was 5 years too late with his retirement in the first place.
All right, Ty. What?
You're muted again.
What?
I
There you go,
hate
Jason. Jason, it worked. Jason, it worked.
I
What?
hate this microphone. I have that. Yes, it's weird to not have Undertaker at a Mania. With the circumstances of having a crowd back, I could see him doing something. I don't know what. But at the same time, it's like he's away. He's been away. Let's keep it that way. Oof.
What would I know about title matches? Would I know Gary Mehaffy, if that is your real name? I'm pretty sure you're the leprechaun from the movie Leprechaun. But anyway, Santos Escobar knows plenty about championships. And to tell you the truth, I'm a 2-time Backyard Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion.
Ryan Joy, when we did the WrestleMania 36 special, he had the idea just for the next couple of years or for whatever he wants to do, have The Undertaker do the voiceover for the intro. And then maybe like something at the end like, welcome to WrestleMania. And then that's done and done. That's it. Until we see him in the Hall of Fame tuxedo.
I like that.
Speaking of Gary and Brian, they're both not with us. Gary's chiming in the comments. He's unfortunately going to be with us. Brian, like I said, is on assignment at WrestleMania. Since there are no rules in Florida, you can do whatever the hell you want. So he went to WrestleMania, as much as other indie shows. This is Gary's record at WrestleMania. He's been a part of this little group of ours for the past 4 years. He's about 9 matches, 11 matches, over 500. He's really well at WrestleMania 35. He goes over 500 every single year. So here, for those who like their Gary flavor of picks here, he's obviously got McIntyre, Bianca, Styles, and Omos, Strowman in the cage, Cesaro, and why there's points lost with Bad Bunny right there. Natty and Tamina winning the turmoil match. He's got Daniel Bryan coming out of it tomorrow night. He's got Daniel Bryan sneaking in, replaying WrestleMania 30. Bray, Apollo Crews, Sheamus, Rhea Ripley. So if you actually, funny thing, I was looking at this as I was taping this up for him. 6 new champions out of 7 title matches for Gary. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were the only ones defending their title. And I said, Ryan, we don't have WrestleMania records from Ryan. We just met Ryan throughout the course of the podcast, and so we don't have any WrestleMania records from him. He didn't have anything written down. I'm sure he's awful because he probably, always bet against him. Anyway, but he's got McIntyre, Bianca Belair, Styles, Omos, Strowman, Cesaro, Bunny, and Priest, along with Natty and Tamina. He's got Daniel Bryan as well. So then you got Bray Wyatt, Big E retaining, Sheamus winning, Ripley. He's got Jackson, Sheamus, and Sami Zayn. So Ryan and Gary are pretty much similar picks here. I believe the only two they had different were Sami and Big E. So look for them to have kind of similar scores here. So, well, we have about we have as much time as we want to say. We don't want to leak into the impact. Hardcore Justice is coming up here. Deonna Purrazzo has to retire Jazz, which is unfortunate. I like Jazz, but Deonna's, she's got to do what she got to do. Plus, we're going to watch, for Tommy Dreamer, Hardcore Justice on at 3 o'clock, and that's going to be our WrestleMania pre-show. We are the pre-show of the day. But before we leave, I guess any kind of other match placement. I know a lot of people like to take about match placement. This match should come in first, and this match should be second. This match should be main event. This should be before the main event. I know a couple people that are really big on match placement at WrestleMania. Make sure the crowd's coming in hot, and this is going to be the cool down match. They like to do the crescendo with the crowd because we have a crowd today. So, John DeConnie, we'll start with you. You are the senior member of the team, age-wise. Anything that you want, even it doesn't have to be match, but anything you want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Just that it'll be interesting to see what headlines tonight. There have been rumors as to who and what match is going to headline, and the match placement thing. I don't think it matters all that much anymore. Like it used to be, like, oh, you dirk the curtain at this particular event. But now they tend to, as you said, start off with a bang, or at least something that's really going to get us rolling. So I wouldn't be surprised and won't be surprised to see a fairly big match start the card, and obviously an equally big match end the card on either or both of these evenings. So, but it'd be very interesting to see who main events tonight.
Speaking of it, it's been coming up now. Now it just dawned on me as you said that, because Chris Jericho is claiming that him and Kevin Owens going on second is more of a slap in the face, and that's why he left the WWE. Because that feud was great, and they disrespected it by putting it on second, not even first, because first was Shane and Styles. They went second, and apparently that was the kick in the nuts that Jericho is like, screw you guys, I'm going, Japan. John Smith.
Yeah, the way they that angle together just didn't do it justice for the absolute gold that they were for months and months and months together. So,
I believe in my WrestleMania or way too early match card, my Universal title match was Owens Jericho with Finn Balor in the triple threat as the Royal Rumble winner. John Smith, anything you want to throw out there?
If I were a betting man, I would say that New Day versus AJ and Omos starts the show today.
Okay.
If I were making the card, I would probably start it with Drew and Bobby and let them just tear the house down right off the bat. And then I would go with Sasha and Bianca at the end and let Sasha close out night one holding up that belt.
I wouldn't think if that happened, I wouldn't think that would bode well for Sasha to end the night as champ. Tyler, anything? Sorry, John Smith, keep going.
Well, I'm just saying because I'm thinking more like because they have two nights, they might get some grief for not making the women one of the main events of one of the nights.
Yeah. That's fair. Tyler, anything from your end?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great weekend. Obviously, with fans back, in some capacity, it's going to be something really. It's going to be like that breath of fresh air. But production-wise, I mean, circling back to a question from earlier, I'm expecting a ton of memorable entrances, pyro like no tomorrow, ring gear, return appearances. The only one I could think of is really off the top of my head is Becky Lynch. Ronda Rousey probably is not somebody who would get a very warm welcome back, so that's probably not something they would do with the crowd, where they can't control the noise at least. This is just going to be a really fun weekend.
Yeah, now, Tyler, I'm going to ask you this question, and there's a specific answer I'm looking for. I'm setting you up here, so let's see if you can play along here. You all right? Will we see John Cena this weekend?
You can never see John Cena.
Thank you. There you go, Tyler. There you go.
But no, on a serious note, I don't think he's bluffing when it comes to the whole being trapped in Vancouver and filming thing. I don't think he's bluffing there. I legitimately don't think you're going to see him.
Yeah. Anyway, so okay, that'll do it. We're gonna actually. The funny thing is, with all the traveling and everything I'm doing now, I didn't even print out the closing. So just I'm gonna fly by the edge of my seat of my pants. What's the phrase? I don't even know what the phrase is. I'm already stumbling over this. Okay, so we have the Black Cats NYC, their new album, Free Cake. You can download it now on all of these music streaming services. We have the Body Slam Brigade, over 4,000 subscribers, which is by Ryan for you for free. We have the Primetime Rundown, which airs every Friday with Joey Jarzinka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca on all of the Eastern Observer and I-95 Sports Network stations and broadcast areas, powered by StreamYard. And if you have any more information, if you need any more information, please go to theeasternobserver.com. Then there's a daily wrestling news show. Ryan is on assignment right now at WrestleMania. So he's going to have a fun show on Monday morning. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be on with him. He's been seeing a lot of independent shows. He's going to WrestleMania. He was at the Dynamite on Wednesday to witness Chris Jericho's ridiculous promo. That was the best thing he's probably put out in the past week, I guess. I don't know. It was pretty good. Anyway, but tune in Monday through Thursday to the Daily Wrestling News Show on all of the Eastern Observer platform. That's the word I'm looking for. Platform. I couldn't think of it. Then there's my wife's Lovely Lash business. Go to Steph'sLovelyLashes.com to get the magnetic or adhesive lashes. They're really cool. They make your eyes look absolutely beautiful and as easy as lash liner. Boom. Go to ProWrestlingPick'em.com. If you think we're stupid, play against us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool. And tomorrow will be the last day. There are 3 shows left. For the 2020-21 season. It's Hardcore Justice, which starts in about an hour. And then it's WrestleMania. And then we are starting back fresh over for the 2021-22 season. We would love to have you on. All our picks are on the site already. We are ready to roll. And then make sure you come back to us. This graphic is incorrect. There's a new graphic online. We are actually going to be hopping on at 5 o'clock this coming Tuesday. This week has been absolutely nuts, and we're going to need the extra hour to cover it. So make sure you join us in the in all the Eastern Observer platforms. It's the Essential Wrestling Podcast. It would be episode number 49, and again, it will be starting at 5 o'clock. There's the King Kong Bunny. I believe that'll do it. Anything last before we go? We're all good? All right, Alexa Bliss, we love you. Happy WrestleMania. Tegan Knox, we miss you. John Smith, I wanted you to be right so bad. I thought she was going to come out. And I saw on Instagram the day of TakeOver Night 2, she was sitting poolside working out her knee. I'm like, but before we bring it home, John the Con, did want to do one last thing. I want to shout out to these wrestlers, Apollo Crews, Riddle, Omos, Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, Lana, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Ruby Riott, Bianca Belair, and Jersey's own Liv Morgan. 11 wrestlers who will be making their WrestleMania debut this weekend. They have achieved their dream. Congratulations to all those guys and girls. You have made it to the biggest stage of them all. We are looking forward to your performances. John DeConnie, take it home.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
WrestleMania!